Hello. In this video, I'm going to speak about Bruno Latour, one of the main thinkers of the 21st century who mostly reflected on our ecological problems. First of all, where do these problems come from for Latour? In the first episode, we have seen how major Western philosophers such as Aristotle, Descartes, Kant have considered nature as a mere object of exploitation to serve human purposes. Well, for Latour, this was possible because humans always conceived of the world based on the subject-object divide. In other words, for Latour, humans attributed agency only to themselves, while considering everything else, including other non-human beings, as a dead matter deprived of agency. Therefore, humans treated nature as a mere object of exploitation. It was only dead matter, after all. This way of looking at things is so ingrained in ourselves that we are barely aware of it. So, Latour suggests, let's consider our relationships with paintings, say landscape paintings. In this context, we are the agents looking at nature as a dead object. Our relationship with paintings summarizes our relationship with nature. For Latour, the same divide, human and nature, is based on the subject-object divide, so we shouldn't really speak of going towards nature, for example, because this presupposes a view of nature as a dead matter. So, what is Latour's solution? Latour first suggests that we should attribute agency to non-human beings, as well as to what we usually consider as a dead matter as well. In his view, there is not nature as a whole, but rather a world of continuous interactions among agents. Each agent, be it human, animal, or matter, modifies its environment, impacting that of the other agents as well. In Latour's worldview, there are no longer subjects and objects, but only relationships, interactions. Secondly, Latour suggests that we should live our time differently. We should change our approach to time. Everyone speaks of climate crisis, but Latour says, in our common sense, crisis is something that comes and goes, something that will end at a certain point. But for Latour, science tells us that human action had modified the environment once and for all. We are at a point of no return. We are in what he calls the new climate regime. The environmental problems won't disappear at a certain point like a normal crisis. We have to act now so as to mitigate them, but they are going to last. That's the point. But why, according to Latour, currently humans are so reluctant to take the initiative to mitigate the environmental problems? Nowadays, we see that people get worried about wars and diseases, but not about environmental problems, which could potentially bring all of them. But wars and diseases, unfortunately. For Latour, the answer lies in the fact that humans believe to live in an apocalyptic age, characterized by what he calls the end of time. So they don't care about the possible catastrophes to come. They believe to already live in a world full of catastrophes. They are used to them, so one more catastrophe doesn't really worry them. That's why for Latour we should change our approach toward time. Instead of adopting the view of the endless end of the time, which paralyzes our action, we should rather recover the original religious meaning of apocalypse as time of the end. This means that we should live conscious of our finitude and set limits to what we can do and to what we cannot do. Only in this way can we take action in the new climate regime.